Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 favorite moments of the Golden Age arc in Berserk. So if you have not read up to volume 13 in Berserk by Kentaro Miura, I would not watch this video. This is not for you. There are some very big spoilers. Some of the biggest moments in the series I will be talking about. I will also be talking about why I like them, why I think they are the top 10. And although a lot of these sometimes occur within the same volume, and especially towards volume 13, my top 5 will be a lot more centralized within those volumes. And I think that's just because so much happens in that volume. Without further ado, let's just go right into it. Again, if you haven't read up to volume 13, click off. This is going to be a lot. So at number 10, I have Guts fighting Boscone during the Battle of Doldry. And this was amazing to watch because this is early on when Guts is in the Band of the Hawk. And Griffith sends him out and is like, okay, you go fight this guy. We'll try to storm the castle and doing all this. And I just really love the artwork in this. It's our first sort of test for Guts as a member of the Band of the Hawk. And he proves himself. He always does. He always wins, usually in his fights. And this one's especially, like, the artwork was just incredible during the entire fight. And it was just really well done. I just really loved everything in this story. It's very violent. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of detail. The detail in the artwork is just phenomenal, and especially of this section because there's hundreds of soldiers and knights and horses, dirt getting kicked up, and like all this stuff. Like Miura really puts in the details, and it's phenomenal. I really love this series, but this is the moment, this fight, is when I think Miura just found his stride when it came to drawing these scenes. But at number 9, I have Guts fighting off over 100 men in the woods in order to protect Casca because they're both ambushed upon when they walk away from the Band of the Hawk. And Casca and Guts are ambushed, and Guts says, Casca, run to the band, I'll fight these people off. And we get this really tense and just incredible chapter where Casca is running through the woods, trying to get away. She gets caught, unfortunately, but not before, or just before Griffith shows up and she is saved. And then they all go to Guts and they're like, there was over 100 men. We don't know if he's even alive. And they find his body resting against a tree. And they're like, oh no, like he's dead. And then he coughs and he's like, where's my water? Like, I'm tired. It's just a absolutely incredible moment. I just really love that moment in the series. And I think it's just amazing. It was such a breath of fresh air. Not that I thought he was dead or anything. I mean, it was only volume 4, I think, volume 5 at this point, that this moment happens. But it was just incredible. I was very happy that Casca was spared from the experience that she was going to go through. But, of course, later in the anime or in the manga, it gets much worse for Casca. And I guess you can... I'm not really going to hover on any of those moments. I won't really make reference to those Casca moments because I don't want to talk about it. But if you want to know more, go check out my review of volumes 10 to 13, I believe. And so, the next moment that I really enjoyed at number 8 is going to be Guts and Casca share a moment in the cave and finally release the, inhibitions about each other and become closer as a team in order to protect Griffith better. Because they both, at least Casca, it seemed like she was jealous of I almost called him Berserk. Casca seemed really jealous towards Guts because he was really close to Griffith in Casca's eyes, but Guts just sort of tells him tells her yeah, I mostly just protect him. I try to follow his mission. I'm doing what he's telling me to do, but I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. I'm not that caught up in Griffith's stuff, and that's just a really important moment within the story to me, because from then on out, Casca and Guts see eye to eye, and they help each other out, and it's amazing. I really enjoy the characters together. They don't have a relationship. I mean, they have sex and they're close with each other, but I mean, I think it's just more friends. And I'm very curious to see where Casca and Guts will go after Volume 13, because I'm really worried for her, and I know this series is very, very dark, and I just don't want anything to happen to her. But the next moment that I really, really enjoy is at number 7, as Griffith and Guts stand off in order to join the Band of the Hawk. This is sort of the first big moment between Griffith and Guts. I know I'm not going chronologically here. I'm just giving my top 10 ranked. But, we really don't know anything about Griffith at this point. Guts is almost robbed, and Corcus is there. He's, just talking shit. Casca's there. She's like, who's this guy? And Griffith is like, this guy is really powerful. We watched him kill, tons of people at this last fight. Let's recruit him. And Guts is like, okay, fine. Let's duel. If you win, I will join. If I lose, I get to just go on my way. And Griffith wins. And so Guts has to join the Band of the Hawk. And that is sort of the crux of the series, in my opinion, is Guts and Griffith finally sort of just connecting. That moment of them when the destinies are tied starts from that moment. And I just love that. I just love thinking about the before and after of Guts meeting Griffith. How would life go if that hadn't happened? How would the series go? All of that. It would be it's fascinating to think about. But my number 6 favorite moment is going to have to be a few, I think, volumes later. We have a burning of the castle by Griffith after he is almost assassinated by some of the royalty. And I just really love that moment, because that moment presents the reader the most, I guess, accurate view of what Griffith is like, because you see Griffith at this party, and he drinks the poison wine, and he supposedly passes out and dies, and everyone's upset by it. Casca, Guts, everybody. And so later that night, all of these royalty are talking with each other at this really grand table, and you see smoke coming from the floor, and they open the door, and it's just this inferno rushes in, and everyone catches on fire, and the queen leans out the window as meets her eyes with Griffith all the way at the bottom of the castle, just outside the gate, and he's just smiling at her. And you're that is a really terrifying moment, knowing where the series is going for me, because with the eclipse and all that, Griffith made the conscious choice to sacrifice everybody and brand them in order to become part of the God Hand. And he just sacrificed this entire royal family in order to become sort of the next, general. And he's promoted after this. He has risen to the ranks. And he's able to get in contact with Charlotte and all of that after this moment. And it's just crazy the lengths that Griffith will go to And this was our first sign of it, the very first clear sign, in my opinion, of him doing this. And it's just incredible. All the little, I guess, foreshadowings of Griffith throughout this arc, because so much of it, you just want to believe in Griffith, but you know that there's a darkness within him, because you have chapters where you get dreams from his point of view, where he's running down this cobblestone road going up to the castle. He wants to go to the castle. That's where he's always wanted to be, was in the castle at the top of the hill. And it is such a beautiful, I guess, story arc in the way that it's written, because not only the characters, but the reader themselves want Griffith to succeed. And you want him and Guts and Casca to all be happy together. But you know, like, Griffith is holding back. He is not interacting with Casca and Guts. And it is so beautifully, paced, I guess. Like, every chapter just moves the story forward. And you are always doubting yourself about the dangerousness and the just the bad vibes that you get around Griffith. Like, because I watched the anime first, I've said that before, and the 1990s one, and the 26 episodes, I think, 27, 3 maybe, I don't know. But like, even though I knew that, like, I was still rooting for Griffith, because I was like, surely he won't, like, because I didn't fully understand what happened in the anime. And now that I've talked to my friend who has read throughout the entirety of Berserk since it started coming out, maybe not, but since the 2000s, now I understand, like, the choices that Griffith has made. And so it was just surprising to me that even on reread, I was still being gaslighted. That's what it really feels like. And it's just incredible, the writing that Miura did for that, because no matter how many times that Griffith shows his true self, and it's not a true self that you want to be following, because he has this Egg of the King thing, that the Behelit, that will summon the God Hand if you bleed on it. Like, he is not a good guy. Like, this entire story is just setting Griffith up to become part of the God Hand. And so I just love thinking about, like, or wondering where we're going to go next. Because, like, where else are we going to go? Like, are they just going to wipe out humanity? Is that the goal? What's the goal? So I love it. I love thinking about these questions. And with that in mind, my number 5 favorite moment in the series is when Nosferatu Zod gets scared off from Guts and Griffith after Griffith accidentally displays his Behelit. And Nosferatu Zod is like, oh my god, the Behelit, the God Hand. Like, how did you find this? And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I am out of here. Like, I will see you at the eclipse. And bye. And then he just flies off. And Guts is like, eclipse? What's that? And I knew going in. I didn't know the extent of it, because it's just so much more that happens in the eclipse in the manga than it does in the show. But oh my god. Like, I love the acolytes in the series. Oh, the apostles. The apostles, I think, are my favorite. They are. I think it's because I'm a big From Software gamer. I love Dark Souls. I love Elden Ring. I love Bloodborne. I moderately love Sekiro, but I love these more fantastical, grotesque creatures. And these apostles are just grotesque people that were given immortality and were like, okay, do what you want, just keep giving the God Hand souls and sacrifices, and you'll be good. And I love these apostles. I love reading about them. I love seeing the designs. They're so disgusting. I love them. towards, I think it was volume 10 when I started reading volume 10. I read on the computer because I'm not going to buy every single deluxe edition, especially now that I don't have a job. But I read it on the computer, and anytime, like, you can just right-click, save image, and choose a folder. And I have a computer background folder, and anytime I would find just a really great artwork, I would either use snipping tool to get the exact creature that I wanted, or I would just download the whole page, especially if it's one of those big pages. And I was often just saving the pictures of apostles and just the really grotesque designs of them, because that's just so cool. Like, I've never seen anything like that before. And it's just really well done. I love the imagination that Miura has. It is just really grotesque. And on top of that, during the eclipse, we even get appearances from the apostles. It's not front and center. I mean, Nosferatu's art is there. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But one of the earliest apostles that we see in the series, he's like in the corner. I think I put him, in the thumbnail that I have for the review for 10 through 13, on the bottom right, you can see the apostle from the early series. And I thought that was so cool. I did not notice that. My friend pointed it out to me, but oh my god, like, I love the designs of these. And it's so fun, too, to watch Guts try to, I guess, formulate a plan to defeat them. And they're just, you know, smacking him around. He's like a rag doll just getting flown, you know, this way and the other. And, like, it's so great. And then, like, when you think Guts is going to lose, well, not really lose, but when you think that, like, there's no chance that he's going to, you know, he's going to have to run away. Someone's going to have to come in. The Knight of Skulls is going to have to come in, or Skull Knight, I mean. And he just digs into his rage and just somehow just always destroys them in the most epic, spectacular fashion. I just really love the way that he just destroys these apostles. He doesn't just stab them in the heart. He, like, for one of them, he, like, stabs him in the head, and he, like, wrenches it down and then goes down the body so it splits and bisects them in half. And it's so awesome. I just love it. It's just, I really love Berserk. I could talk about this all day. But, so that, Nosferatu Zod is a favorite apostle of mine. He's just amazing. He is just so fun to see. I love when he shows up. He's just fun. I don't know how else to say it. He's just such a fun apostle. But, my number 4 favorite moment is right off the subject of what I was talking about, but it's the moment when Guts is slaughtering all of the apostles during the invocation, right when the eclipse starts, and he's protecting the Band of the Hawk as they're getting, you know, thrown around and hunted down and chewed on and eaten and all the other things I'm not going to mention, because you know if you know what happens. But, God, this is where I saved the most images to my background folder, because it was just absolutely incredible. And I don't know how Miura is going to top this. And I know I'm only like 20% through the series, I think is what my friend said. 15%, maybe. I think he said 20. But it is just incredible, like, that there's still like 80% left. Although I do know, like, the last quarter or something, like, Miura got like up to like around 80% worth or something. I don't know. If anyone knows, without spoilers, obviously, please let me know. Like, how's the current one going? Is the storyline going well? Like, let me know. But, my top 3 moments of this series are going to be probably all related to each other in some way or fashion. And it's all about the eclipse. My number 3 moment is, that I especially love is, watching Griffith running to the Behelit when the eclipse begins, because you see Casca and Guts, they're talking to each other. The band is there. They're like, man, we don't know what to do. We rescued Griffith. Everybody's hunting us. Like, everybody in the land is hunting us. Like, how are we going to survive? And Griffith has that covered. So he runs out of his wagon in complete bandages all around his body. He has that awesome hawk helmet. And you see his eyes. Some of the best artwork is on this. I wish I could share it somewhere to kind of just show my favorite panels. But it's just incredible. But Griffith runs like to this pool of water and finds the Behelit just floating on top. And he he runs to the pool, trips, and like impales himself on a very large spiky branch. Which I just want to imagine like a god hand like commanding like Commander Zod or not Commander Zod. Nosferatu Zod. To like break this log and like set it up perfectly so that Griffith runs in and like immediately does it. I don't think that's what happened. It was just dumb chance that he fell on that. But the Behelit emerges from the water and blood hits it, Griffith's blood. And you see the eyes, because the Egg of the King is what they were calling it the entire series. The apostles would call it the Behelit, but merchants and stuff who were selling it were like, the Egg of the King, it's great. You know, I don't know what it does, but, you know, it's very valuable. And you see an eyeball like here, a mouth over here, a nose down here. And like, when he bleeds on it, it all just reorganizes itself into a face and starts screaming. And then the eclipse happens, and you get this just what the fuck moment when they go through that portal or into the dimension of the God Hand. I remember watching that show for the first time like late last year or so, and my jaw dropped when that moment happened because I had no idea where the series was going. I knew it was I knew Elden Ring and Dark Souls takes a lot of imagery from Berserk, so I recognized a lot. But I was just blown away by the fact that this was even possible. Like, I just never, like, we saw a few moments where they would go into the dimension of the God Hand, but, like, this was something else. And it was just the artwork in this section, all the many hands and faces, especially the faces. Oh my god, the faces of the sky, the faces all on the ground, and the hills of faces, like, my god, like, I think about that imagery often, like, in my life. Like, and I just don't even want to think, like, what, like, if it's real. Like, I don't know. My friend, one night while we were talking on the phone, we were talking about Griffith and all that, and he was like, how would you feel if you, like, you were at work or something, and someone just showed up with a behelit, like, just around the neck, like, and they never took attention to it or anything, and deep inside you, you know it's real. What do you do? And I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I don't know whether to become a apostle or not, because immortality would be really nice, but I don't want to do any of those disgusting things they do. But being immortal would be nice. That's the only, like, benefit I can think of to being a apostle. I'm sure it's a very painful existence. I don't know. I don't know. So I just thought that was a fun question he asked me, but I hope I never see anybody show up in my life with a fucking behelit. I would be fucking... I'd be scared. That'd be my first emotional reaction. But my second favorite moment is going to be towards the end of this section when Griffith is talking to the God Core, which is what I'm just going to call it, because this was the moment that really solidified my love, and just the way, like, it just really pushed it into the 10 out of 10 for me. Well, I didn't give it 10 out of 10. I think I gave it like 9.7, 9.8. it's really damn close to a perfect series because of this moment. Because reading this moment, you get the God Core kind of just laying out the entire history of the world and where the God Hand sort of came from. They were humans in order to slowly, throughout time, mold reality in a way that would allow for Griffith to come in and realize the final plan. Which I don't know what the final plan is, the God Hand, but I just really love that moment. The artwork is incredible in this section. I remember I was just like, it was just blowing my mind when this was happening. I loved getting all the descriptions of how the God Core basically put in like, or it didn't put in anything, but like, it became born out of humans' need to explain the unexplainable, like the most painful experiences and just all that. And eventually enough people felt that way strongly enough that it ripped this consciousness from another dimension called the God Core. That is basically the vessel of evil. And that vessel has basically been working humanity to create the God Hand and then have the God Hand eventually morph and use the apostles to get Griffith to eventually join the God Hand. Like, it is so cool. I love it. Just thinking about it, I just love it. And I don't want to ramble on too much. I've talked about all this on my throughout my reviews, so I'm really repeating myself here, but my favorite moment in the series is going to have to be Griffith becoming Femto, which is the Wings of Darkness, is what the God Hand have given him the title of. And it is a very scary moment, in my opinion, because I don't know what happens after this. I don't know what the world looks like in a post-ecliptical world. I guess post-eclipse. I was trying to sound smart, but it sounds stupid doing that. But I don't know what the world looks like after this, and seeing that Griffith has no qualms really was sacrificing everybody because the God Hand pushed him and really made him think that he was utterly alone in this world. Is just really powerful stuff. Like, it really stays with you reading this series. And Griffith becoming Femto is sort of like a big cliffhanger for me, and it's why it's my favorite moment, because I don't know what happens after this, but I love that process that you see where the hand is open and Griffith is laying on top of it, and then he's risen, and floating, and then you see the hand close so that he is separated from Guts, and that entire transformation of Griffith into Femto is just so well done. I love the artwork of it. It is really grotesque as well, because you see his bones and flesh just rearranging itself, and you see his helmet become part of him, and you see his wings come out, and he flies out of the God Core because he's like, I want wings, and he's like, yeah, it's an easy thing to give you. You have wings, bro. And he flies out, and oh my god, he's Femto, he's here, and then what he does to Casca is just fucking awful. And from then on, it's kind of like, I don't know where the series is going. And that moment where we get all 5 of the God Hand and the portraits together, including Femto, oh my god, like, that is without a doubt one of the most iconic moments in the series, if not the most iconic moment, because we've never seen the God Hand together. We've gotten none of their names, but we get them. We get Slan, we get Ubik, Conrad, Void, and now Femto. And oh my god, I am so excited to see where the future goes and what the God Hand are going to even do. And it's just wow. I can talk about the series all day, and I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I'm trying to see the clock. Wow, I'm almost at half an hour. Damn. But yeah. Berserk is incredible. And if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be going through the entire series of Berserk, covering every volume. So please subscribe and see how that goes. Thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.